My name is Susan Rogerson. I'm the founder, executive, and artistic director of Artists for Humanity in Boston.
My name is Robert Gibbs, and I'm the education coordinator.
My name is Brenda. I'm 18, and I'm a fine art photographer.
My name is Nick Rodrigues, and I'm a sculpture mentor.
My name is Jason Talbot. I'm project director.
My name is Jasenia. I'm 17, and I do graphic design and silkscreen.
My name is Damon Butler, and I am an alum of AFH.
My name is Angel, and I'm a sculpture student.
My name is Jesse.
My name is Claudia, and I am a mentor in the graphic design studio.
Artists for Humanity is the very first place you should call when you need a little bit of art. Whether it's t-shirts, brochures, annual reports, websites, I mean, we'll do it all.
Here at Artists for Humanity, the program is about earning income for the participants that are trained as young artists.
I have sold about 5 or 6 paintings.
I like watching them gain their confidence. I think that's probably the nicest part.
I can bring my friends here and say, I created this. This is what I created.
He was just standing there and happened to caught a glimpse of the sunlight, so it was a little sparkle.
It's really important to have the absolute highest expectations of kids. You know, I think that's where systems can fail.
They looked at my picture and they're like, oh my gosh, did you really take this? And I was like, yeah.
I don't want to give them a bunch of instruction like this is how you paint, this is the way you apply the paint. I let the kids do what they got to do.
Just to have a place to actually come to and do what you like to do, to have that opportunity, it's huge.
I like to kick it with them as if, you know, it's not just a place of employment, but this is your space where you get away. This is your home away from home.
When we started off this program, the goal was just to make a few little paintings here and there. But what ended up happening is that, you know, it became a true partnership between adults and teenagers, which is hard to come by.
I love coming here because I love what I do. I like working on computers, and I like creating logos, and I like making t-shirts.
It's almost like a smart friend or something.
Yeah, mutual respect.
Yeah.
I believe a large part of our survival is the fact that we do work for hire and that we're not totally dependent on the active fundraising.
We as a real estate company have a lot of need for signage and creating signage in and throughout our buildings.
We walked right down the street to Congress and took a look at the spot, and then I came down with all of my students, and we all did a bunch of sketches.
Everything's always young, always fresh.
We've gotten to see a variety of different potential designs.
You have a lot of places to play around with the attachments and the casing around the P, and there's a lot of things you can do to really make it an interesting sign.
What we can offer is raw, uncut art. It's beautiful. It's, you know, it's from the vision and the viewpoint that rarely gets seen. The unadulterated teenage mind.
When we were doing it, it really did come out nice. Like, it's sort of simple, but it also has an artistic theme to it, so it looks really good.
I think it would have been a little bit difficult to have gotten the type of product that we're ending up with from a more typical signage company.
These kids bring a fresh, new perspective, and that's really important to sort of bring you back to that.
What I like about Artists for Humanity is that they provide us experience in marketing, entrepreneurship.
It's a job, it's a program, it's something you love to do, and you get paid for it.
I learned to be more professional, like, shake hands, make eye contact.
It's on-the-job training.
It's nice to know that people would actually spend their personal money just to have your creation in their house.
They want to practice adulthood. They want to be adults.
There are times when, kid is just better than me. He can paint better than me. And I'm willing to say it. And if that's the case, then I just will flood him with canvases or flood him with paint and just try to see how far his potential can take him.
The blending of fine and commercial arts is what allows the kids to feel like they're part of something bigger than themselves.
You come here like after school every day, and if you come during the summer, you'll come Monday to Friday. You get to know them really well. It's not just a mentor, it's like a friend, someone you can trust. Like, I trust him.
I'm an artist, a painter, and I had been working with teens for several years and decided that I would attempt to make a large-scale painting, which I could then market to corporations.
When the large painting project came into play, it was like, oh man, here we are, we have to work together to make something happen. I'll never forget at the end when she was about to give us a ride home, we was like, well, what else could we do?
And so I invited them to my studio. Artists for Humanity was born.
And we just kind of came in and just booted all her stuff off to the side and made way for us, because we were like, now we're in here. It's time for us to start creating.
These kids came every day. They were waiting for me when I arrived. I was driving them home at night.
It was about as big as a 2-car garage.
And we didn't care how small it was. We didn't care that we were on top of each other.
You know, you are with your friends, you are hanging out, but you really are focused.
To me, that studio was totally invaluable. It shaped me and let me grow into the person who I am today. A guy who says what he feels. Kicks down the door, here I am. Let's make some art.
I was supposed to be working on a body of work for a gallery owner who was paying the rent. And, you know, that work stopped when I met those kids. They got excited. They loved the feeling of creating, of expressing, of making something out of nothing. And I knew all I had to do was just make sure that we had a roof over ourselves, and they would keep doing it. We all decided that I was broke from feeding them, hungry teenagers, and we decided that we'd airbrush T-shirts on the street. 6 kids with airbrushes and boom boxes and making Sloan T-shirts for graduate students of business, you know, with daggers and blood, and, you know, it was really, really great. At the end, we had a wad of cash that they took turns counting, and every one of them wanted to reinvest the money.
At the time, you know, 15, you haven't seen anything past $100. You know, you start seeing it like $1,000 in your hand, you're like...
There we were, you know, they weren't ready to divide it up and spend it. They wanted to, in fact, they fought about how best to reinvest the money in their business. From that day on, you know, we've balanced fundraising with work for clients. Part of my early fundraising was to solicit from artists their work for the cause. So I borrowed a lot of money on my personal credit cards and kept that as our cash flow solution. Had no previous experience in writing grants or doing it. I just had an idea that I felt strongly about. So I got some help from people who had worked at Greenpeace and places like that, you know, and we wrote proposals and began the process of becoming a nonprofit, 501c3.
Susan cared what we had to say. She took notes on it, put it in the grants.
We moved into a new studio, which was far larger than the one we had initially started in.
It helped when we started making money and we started making, you know, being able to share that. I mean, every young person needs to feel like they have, you know, a little money in their pocket and they can go and buy something to eat or they can go to a movie or whatever. And I think that integrating the sort of personal advantages of making art with the value of earning money from it is, like, you know, the perfect scenario.
We got more, we're doing bigger, we're getting better, we're taking on more participants.
We grew the organization slowly from 6 kids to 8 kids to 10 kids based on, you know, the funds we had coming in and whether or not, you know, we needed more workers to finish a particular job.
It really allowed me to not just be this kid cooped up in his living room because there were gangs on the street. It allowed me to then be, you know, a teenager in an art gallery.
It just takes a lot of hard work, and tenacity, and belief in what you're doing. And, you know, there's always a credit card.